welcome back to my channel. Today's case is about Shraddha Walkar, the case that is really sent shockwaves to the entire country. Before me going into the details, let us go into the video. Shraddha Walkar lived in Palghar, Maharashtra with her mother and her brother. Her father used to live separately because of his job, and they used to meet whenever possible. In 2018, Shraddha came to Mumbai in search of her job, and with the help of her friends, she was able to get a job in a multinational company in a call center. And also she manages to take an apartment and start living in Mumbai. And that's where she meets Aftab, who was already working in the call center. And over a period of time, about 8 to 9 months, they develop a very good friendship, and later they both fall in love. Shraddha goes back home and tells her mother about the relationship, and she tells him that she has started living in with her boyfriend. The mother is against the relationship because she being a Hindu and Aftab being a Muslim, a religion was a big no-no. So that's why she thought this relationship will not work, and also living relationship in their families will not be acceptable. So she tried making Shraddha understand that this is not good for their family, but Shraddha was very adamant and she refuses. So her father comes to know about her relationship, and he also disapproves of it with the same reason that her mother gives her. But Shraddha is very adamant. She fights with her family and she takes all her belongings and moves back to Mumbai. So she is living in with Aftab, and in 2022, that's when they decide that they should move to Delhi, because Aftab also feels that his family is also not accepting their relationship because of the same reason. So they should move on to a new city where they will have a new life. After moving to Mumbai, Shraddha's mother does call her and find her how she was doing, because she was really worried for her daughter, and because the way she left home. And she also tries convincing Shraddha that she should come back, and this relationship is not going to work out. But Shraddha refuses, and unfortunately in January 2020 her mother dies. Again a big setback for Shraddha. And after her mother's death, she does go back and does attend the last rites of her, and then come back to Mumbai again. So father used to call her and also check on her regularly, but it was just 2 or 3 times, and finally they completely lose touch with each other. So her father and her brother used to find how she was through her friends, like her social media post, or wherever she was posting pictures everywhere. So they used to ask her friends how she was doing, and that way the father used to be happy. Okay, my daughter is fine and she is living happily. So somewhere the father was satisfied that her daughter is somewhere living happily. So now 2022, Aftab tells Shraddha that they should move to Delhi, because even his family is against the relationship, and then Delhi will be a new place and their new beginning for them, and they can start a life afresh. So Shraddha also decides to move to Delhi with him, and they come to Delhi in May. So again, every now and then they used to have these frequent fights regarding their marriage, because Shraddha wanted to take the relationship to the next level, because she says it's almost 3 years now that we should get married, wherein Aftab was in no mood to getting married, and he used to keep refusing Shraddha. So every now and then they used to have these arguments. And similarly, after reaching on in Delhi, May 18th, again they had this very bad fight and argument. And now moving a little forward, in September 2022, suddenly Shraddha's brother gets a call from her friend, and he says that have you Shraddha's new number? So brother is like, no, how will I have her number? No, because I have been trying her number, and for the past 2-3 months I am not able to reach her. Even her phone is switched off. And do you have a new number by chance? So the friend is asking the brother. The brother is like, she is not in contact with us. It's through you all that we used to know how she is. So that's when the brother is worried, and he tells this to Shraddha's father. Now, Shraddha's father is also worried about his daughter's well-being, because somewhere he was already very worried that she had moved out, and the whole relationship was a big concern for him. So she not being in touch with her friends for the past 2-3 months is again very surprising, because always in touch with her friends and she used to keep updating her social media posts. So somewhere that was also not happening. So Shraddha's father goes to the Palghat police station and lodges in a complaint, a missing complaint, and also a complaint about her being abducted. So that's when the Palghat police asks the details, and then they come to know that Shraddha is actually not there, but she has moved on to Delhi. So the police suggests that now, because she is in Delhi, so this case, this missing person case, has definitely have to be registered in the Delhi police. So the local police suggests that Shraddha's father reaches Delhi and gives his complaint again, and they will definitely shift this case to Delhi police. So that's when Shraddha's father, in November 2022, he reaches Delhi in search of his daughter. And then he goes to the Mehroli police station and he lodges in a complaint. By that time, his complaint that he had given in Palghat also comes to the Delhi police. Now they go into the details. They take in the photo and he tells him how she had moved to Delhi with her boyfriend and how she was in a living relationship. So they take their respective phone numbers and they start tracing their numbers. But Shraddha's number is switched off, wherein they trace back Aftab's number to where he was living in Chhatarpur. So the Delhi police are now very active. They trace back the number to the resident, the exact place where Aftab is, and they pick him. And that's when Aftab has a whole story to tell, that he doesn't know where she is, because after May 18 they had a big fight and she just left with all her belongings and he doesn't even know where she is. The police were not convinced by his story, because somewhere they did feel that what he was saying was not the entire truth. So they take his phone and he checked. The most surprising part is there was no phone calls from him to Shraddha or from her to him after the 18th. So that's when the police say that somewhere something is not okay. So they take Aftab and they go to the police station, and that's where the entire story comes out. A most shocking, horrifying, and how somebody could be so heartless is what the story tells us today. So after being a little more harsh to Aftab starts telling out the entire story. So we have to go back to May 18th now. So May 18th was the night, the fatal night. After dinner, he said that he and Shraddha had a big argument. So the police asked what was the argument about. So he said, as usual, Shraddha wanted to get married and she wanted to settle down, but I refused. So the argument turned into a big fight and he was really very angry. He lost his school, and that's when he started strangulating her in his anger. That's what he told the police. So he was very angry. He strangulated her till she died, and waited for her to die. He actually did that. And then he didn't know what to do with the body. So he just leaves the body left next to him and goes off to sleep. So next day morning, he gets up, and May time in Delhi is very hot. So he started thinking, now if the smell goes out, the smell of the body goes out, the neighbors will start questioning. So he starts planning like how to dispose the body. So he goes out, he purchases a fridge. Then he had already decided that he's going to cut the body pieces. So he decides to buy the various things that requires, like a saw, a blade, and then polythene bags, and the bag that he's going to take the polythene bags in. The amount of planning he has done to dispose the body is actually shocking. So he comes back, he takes a body to the bathroom and he starts cutting the body into pieces. So he does that. He says that he does for a while, and whatever body parts he has cut, he will start storing them in the polythene bags, and the remaining body he stores in the fridge. I don't know what condition that body would have been. Can't even imagine. He stores it in the fridge. Even the cut body part which are in the polythene, he stores them in the refrigerator. And after that, he orders food, and then he eats, and then he says that he was so tired that he just sleeps off. And he waits for 2 o'clock in the night so that he could go out without being caught by anybody. And that's when he would go and dispose the body part. So 2 o'clock in the night he will go, he will take the body parts that he has cut. And in Mehroli, forest was close by, so he said he went there first, and after a while he just threw the polythene back, and then he came back to his home and he slept off. Next day morning, he said he got up, he took out the milk from the refrigerator where her body is kept, unimaginable actually. He makes tea for himself, and he says, again, I did the same thing. I took her remaining body part to the bathroom. I started cutting them into pieces. Again, whatever part I cut, I put it in the polythene bags, and then I used to store it in the refrigerator, order food, eat, and then sleep off. Again, wait till 2 o'clock in the night so that I could go out, and then I could dispose this time. And he said that I made sure that I used to go to different places. I never go to the same place so that I am not caught. And first time he said that he was a little hesitant and he was worried that he'll be caught. But as the days went by, so he said I used to continue doing that. So till June 5th, this was his routine. So almost 16 to 17 days, this was like his daily routine. His cutting the body parts, him storing in the polythene bags, then I'm waiting for night 2 o'clock to come, and then disposing it. And then he cut her body into 35 pieces. Actually, gruesome. I don't know how somebody could do that to a person you love so much. I can't even imagine. And then he used to come back, and then after doing all that, he used to come and clean his bathroom because he was worried of the blood stains, and used to light up a lot of incense sticks, spray a lot of perfume because he was worried the smell will go out, and used to make sure that the bathroom was clean. So after the last body part pieces are disposed, he comes back again. He again cleans the entire bathroom, and he is somewhere very confident that he's never going to be caught. So he doesn't want to dispose the fridge. So using a lot of chemicals, because he said that he had studied somewhere using certain chemicals would not let the forensic find the blood stains. So he cleans his fridge and he starts living a normal life. That's what he said. So when the police heard the entire story, they were shocked. Like, what amount of planning, the amount of meticulously how he had done all this in a way that even a professional would do. It was really very surprising to the police, and in these 6 months he was living a peaceful life, not being caught at all. It was Shraddha's father's search that brought him to Delhi. It was his search for the daughter that somewhere everybody started finding where she was or how she is. Her friends also, because they were worried that Shraddha was not on social media at all. So thanks to them, otherwise this case would have never come to light, and Aftab would have just led his life peacefully. Really shocking and disheartening. Details will be given in the next video. Please do watch. Thank you.